You want to be an entrepreneur, basically. You want to make your own money, you don't want to worry about bills, and you don't want to have to lose your soul working a part-time job. That sucks. What's up? I'm Jess and welcome back to another video. So I know there's a trend of the monthly reset, so this is kind of my take on it. It's going to be really focused on reading, art, writing, and all the things that are my goals for this year. But let's start with the things you guys are probably most interested in. What books I read last month and what books I want to read for this month. Let's get into it. Last month I managed to finish 3 books and start 4, which I DNF'd 1. I will talk about that in a second. First book I read was this the first book I read? I don't remember. I believe this is the first book I read of 2023, on rotation. A really cute rom-com romance about a girl who's in her doctorate studies, like 3rd year. Things are getting intense. She just gets dumped and she ends up falling for a guy she randomly meets, but guess what? He's got a girlfriend. So her life is pretty messy, and maybe she loses her best friend. Maybe she needs to find a new house. We don't know. It was so good. This was definitely a 3.5. It was just above average. Really fun to read, but it definitely was tropey, and the ending I didn't appreciate as much. Kind of went against the grind of the whole point of being messy and not perfect and life-changing and stuff. Because of the ending and because it was a pretty predictable story, I gave it a 3.5, but it still was very enjoyable, and it also makes lots of references to like Avatar: The Last Airbender and things like that. So if you don't like those kind of references, because there are a lot of those references in this book, then you probably wouldn't like this. But if you are interested in a fun romance where a student is balancing life and things and is 25, it's just being a hot mess, this is the book for you. I also read On the Hustle, which was a fun book, but this one definitely has more heat, more steam than On Rotation. The smut was like full kilter. But what made this book magical, and I actually think now I want to give this one a 4-star just because I'm like pointing so much, I'm sorry, but I liked the intensity so much more than On Rotation. Oh, is that mean to compare? It probably is, but the tension was perfect. If you like You Had Me at Hola, you'll love this. This is about a woman who has multiple jobs. She's hustling, she's grinding, but she wants to start her own business. She has her bookish boudoir. She does room renovations based off of people's favorite books, and she ends up quitting in the beginning of the book, quitting her like day job that, you know, financial security, healthcare, dental. She ends up quitting because she hates the guy she works under and she wants to start her own business. But when she leaves the state to pursue this new job, the old boss, follows her because he kind of likes her. So it was a fun time. The tension is just done so incredibly well. I highly recommend if you like a steamy romance. The next book I read and DNF'd is The Perfect Find by Tiffany Williams. I'm quite disappointed. I'm not giving it a star rating because obviously I only read 50 pages of this, but it was just not for me. And I have a whole rant in my last video about this book, but to sum up the summary of this, there is a woman, she's 40, she's in the middle of a messy divorce, so she leaves her it fashion job in New York, goes home, kind of, you know, regroups, and then she tries to get back into the game, but she's behind the times. This book was published in 2016, but it's placed in 2012, so there are older references, so it can be kind of like tricky to follow, especially I'm not a fashion girly, so I know nothing. And the kicker of this romance is that she falls in love with a 20-something-year-old guy, which totally could be fun. I just didn't find it to be a fun read. Like I thought their meet cute wasn't, you know, sparks and tension and so had to DNF, and I sold it on my Pango Books account. If you don't know, I sell a lot of the books I unhaul, so I'll link it down below if you were interested in the US. Last book I managed to finally finish. I literally thought I finished this months ago. I'm so shocked. I like I can't believe I didn't finish this. It is Gods and Monsters by Laini Taylor, which is one of my favorite authors. I need her to write something else, like desperately. I need a whole series, and I won't be mistaken and read like when it comes out. I will wait till the whole series is out to binge it all because it's just so amazing. This series, this is the third installment. I finally finished the trilogy, but this series is basically about a blue-haired girl who kind of falls in love with an angel, but she lives amongst demons. And side note, she's on Earth, so it's like demons, angels, what? They're from a different world. Is she from a different world? She doesn't know. She's adopted. Her whole history is unknown. So there's so much in this story, and it's so amazing. I really liked it. I did put it down last year. I thought I finished it and didn't enjoy it, but I really enjoyed it the second time around. I think I just needed that distance because there's an added POV in this book that I now appreciate immensely. So this is your sign. If you're so close to finishing a book series, do it. I think that's going to be a goal of mine, to try and finish a book series every month. We'll see how that goes. And I guess that's a great transition into the books I want to read for this February. Gosh, I really did try to make this TBR realistic. As I just showed you, I only was able to read 3 complete books last month, and my goal this year is to just cut my TBR in half, which is about 55 books, give or take. So why do I have a stack so big? Why is it? It don't make no sense. Okay, but let's talk about it. First, the series I want to start, and I guess not finish because it's not done yet, but the series is Legendborn. So this is kind of a spoiler for my bigger reading vlog this month, but I figured you guys get to know, the people who watch all my videos and click on. Legendborn. Very excited to finally start this honker of a book. I did read the first 50 pages last year and loved it and went, this is going to be a new favorite. I need to really fully embrace this story. So don't really know besides that this girl, I think her parents either died and she's going to a different school, or a parent died and she's going to a new school and finds out there's a whole magical like club. Is that how you say it? Sorority? Something. I'm ready. Now to the unrealistic stack. I have a few books here that I have been in the middle of reading. So I have Save the Cat, the last book you need to read for screenwriting. I think I'm gonna have a whole writing vlog this month, dabbling into this book in my notes and my takeaways and me attempting to write my first full-fledged outline. We'll see if that happens. I'm gonna believe in myself. It's happening. Subscribe so you don't miss. The next is a romance that I am, I think, 50 pages into. It is a chef's kiss. Yeah, this romance author wrote a book that I really enjoyed, The Cowboy's Claim, so very much want to read this, especially for, you know, like Blackathon / Valentine's Day. Even though Valentine's Day is one day, February is just like the month of romance, you know, even though I'm single. I know. Month of romance including self-love? Question mark? I have 2 books here that I'm not too sure which one I want to read, but I definitely want to read one. And I am inclined to read one more than the other just because I don't know the story. And a lot of you guys have commented saying that it's good. So I have Pride and Prejudice and I have Jane Eyre. Love this mass market paperback of this. I really want to now collect all of them, and I shouldn't. I mean, they're cheap and affordable, but like, again, don't just buy things because they're cheap and affordable. Trying to practice not consuming so much. We'll see. But yeah, some period romances. So maybe I'll do a vlog trying to read one of these. Comment down below which one you think I should read. And lastly, we have some Blackathon reads. I have Such a Fun Age, which, oh my god, I can't believe I have not read, but I'm finally going to read it this month. And I have The Water Dancer, which I have been in the middle of for like ever. Oh, I think I took out the bookmark finally. So I'm gonna just restart this one because I honestly don't remember too much of this. I know there's a bit of magical realism in this one, but honestly don't know too much about these two besides the fact that they're very, very popular and blacklit. I'll make sure to link down below Jesse's video on the Blackathon this year and the different groups and challenges. I'm not going to get too much into that because, again, trying to keep my life simplistic, if that makes sense. I only think I'm going to read about 4 of these books out of the stack, and that's totally fine. And I have options in case I want to mood read. But yeah, trying to keep things really simple, but in case you want to join, I'll link it down below. So I am trying to accomplish a lot of goals, and I realize I need to do a better job of outlining them. So now moving past kind of the bookish goals and more into YouTube, writing, and art. So if you're like me, you want to be an entrepreneur, basically. You want to make your own money, you don't want to worry about bills, and you don't want to have to lose your soul working a part-time job. That sucks. So I wrote a monthly review, which I will show you in detail, but I also did a little project. I also did something that I highly recommend everyone do, and that is a 3-year plan. Like, I know people talk 5-year plan, but I was reading some Forbes article, which I will link below, about how a 3-year plan is way better. So I have what I want to see happen in 3 years, and then I cut it in like a quarter, what I would want to happen in the next year, and then I have quarterly goals. So it's kind of complicated. I guess let me show you the journal outline so you can see what I'm talking about and talk you through it. Ignore any spelling mistakes you might see, but we have the top 3 priorities for this year. So just to kind of remind myself what's most important, I want to be more disciplined in my career, I'm going to take better care of myself, and I want to invest more in relationships. So this was just for this year, and then I have my list of things that I'd want to happen in 3 years. So I have crazy stuff on here, like booking a series regular, a rom-com, a book to movie adaptation, so a lot of acting stuff that I want to happen. I want to sell and pitch my movie script, my manuscript idea. I want to own my own business successfully, and yeah, financial stability, cut my debt in half, travel every quarter, and be in a long-term relationship. So that's what I'd like to see in 3 years. Think it's achievable, but it's like really like dreaming really big. And something that helped me was to break down this large goal, like especially when it comes to acting, how do you actually like achieve your goal? I broke it down into the process of audition, callback, pin, book. So it's kind of a 4-step process to booking a big role. So you have to audition for a role, which I think everyone knows, but a callback is when you're called back into the casting office to read again, and sometimes you'll read with other people. It's just a higher stakes, and there's more qualified people, and it just gets a little bit more serious. And then a pin is when they like you enough that they would like to hire you, and they hold you for the dates. And then booking the project is you sign contractually to join the project. So 4-step process. You can do that to like anything on your goal list and try and break down something really large, like writing a manuscript or writing a book. Break it down into 4 parts: outline, feedback, review, rewrites. So breaking it down into something that's containable, little chunks. After breaking it down, it's a little easier to write smaller goals that are a little bit more attainable, such as in 1 year I'd like to get more callbacks. So not just auditions, but being in like the step 2 of getting callbacks. I'd like to write multiple scripts. I want to practice writing more, so I want to have a lot of, short films, TV scripts, just really practicing the craft, because I don't think I'd be able to sell just my literal first and only script. So breaking it down and being like, let's write a lot this year. I would like to launch my business and then create a sustainable budget, so that way I can achieve the other fun goals like cutting debt and traveling. And all that to say is now for my first quarter goals, so breaking down all the goals into certain quarters of the year. My focus for this quarter is to have good habits, so actually working towards getting dressed, eating right, all the self-care stuff that I kind of suck at right now, and start establishing them as a habit. Same with making art and writing, establishing a habit, because all this stuff, writing and callbacks, and it won't happen if I don't get up and do the work and make it easy and make it habitual to do those things. And the last thing, which is an actor thing, is to create a demo reel, so to have material to get auditions and to get callbacks. And then I have kind of penciled in other goals. Yeah. So this really helps me figure out like planning and doing the habits and things that I need to do to stay on track for my goal and staying aligned. But what helps me in the day-to-day is tracking, and I use 2 journals for that. So I have my regular planner, which I'll show you the inside, but this year I actually got this cute little 90-day journal, which is from Blogilates. It's definitely more fitness oriented, and your girl's not doing a fitness journey, not just yet. I'm more focused on just getting up and eating every day. Important things. So every day I track my mood and I track the meals that I eat. I really need to up my food consumption. I'm a type of person that when I'm down in the dumps, I skip meals, which is why I'm an itty bitty teeny weeny lady. And I also want to track how many hours of sleep, and then also how it correlates to my mood. So on certain days, I will kind of circle, if it'll focus, I'll circle my mood here in the corner and be like, oh, I had a bad day, and then wrote down why. And then I can also see how my eating might, you know, not be helping my mood. So I really love this. It helps me stay accountable each week. At the end of the week, I will reflect. At the end of each week, I'll get to reflect on how the week went, if I achieved my goals, and then I'll write new goals. See, like this first week of January was kind of, you know, a mix of moods, which is totally okay, but I also make sure to write my wins. I got 2 self-tapes. I finally wrote a difficult email, like things like that. I'm proud of myself. And then, you know, what helped me this week, and I said my parents, journaling, having minimal things to worry about, things that I need to work on, oversleeping, undereating, you know. So I'm working on it, and I'm more so tracking my journaling and meditation instead of workouts. And then I have my goal for the next week. So right now it's week 5 technically in the month, so entering February. So I put down my wins. I have little stars next to them, posted a video. My mood was very much in the middle, so I had a lot of highs and a lot of lows last week. But my most important goals for this week is to create my first demo reel, just attempting it, seeing how to make it, because it's gonna take some, you know, some tries to make it really beautiful and really perfect. And then also creating a routine, a Monday through Friday routine, to not oversleep. So this morning I woke up at 9 a.m. We'll see if that continues. That's the goal, and I'm gonna mark down every day if I eat 3 meals, if I sleep more than the allotted 9 hours that I'm giving myself, and I also track if I journal and meditate at the bottom. So this journal is actually really helpful. At the end of every night, I will fill it out, and it helped me feel way more accomplished. And then I also have an overview on my planner. I will track my mood. If you can see, there are some cloudy days. Those were the days that I wasn't feeling particularly good. But then I also like to track the books I read, self-tapes, and how many uploads I had. So next month, let's talk about February goals. I don't know why, I just like writing everything down. I don't know about you. If you've seen all those Notion videos, it's too much for me. I don't like it. I feel like I always ignore it. Let's see. So I only ended up uploading once in January for videos, which is like a little sad, but I'll fix that. My goal for next month is to upload 8 times, and so far I've already uploaded once, and this is gonna be my second video, so we're a quarter of the way there. Doing good. I want to live stream every Sunday. I want to get 10 auditions. We'll see if that actually happens. I want to go to the gym. I have here 12 times, 3 times a week, so we'll see. I'll try and work out tonight to get at least 1 in already. And then, yeah, reading 4 books, which is, again, trying to keep my goals somehow minimal and attainable, because I feel like I tend to be like, I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m. and I'm going to read every day, and it lasts only 1 day, and that's like such a problem. So trying something new. That's it for today's video. Let me know if you are also trying to reflect and change and grow a lot in 2023. If you think this system is kind of helpful, I highly recommend doing a 3-year plan if you haven't, and then keep it in a place that you'll see a lot. So I'm going to keep mine at the very beginning of my journal, which, by the way, if you didn't see, this journal It's so cute. I will link it down below. I love it. And I'll also make sure to link down my planner and the little 90-day challenge journal in case you also want to use any of these. Highly recommend creating a space to, you know, word vomit and plan and all that stuff, so that way you have a, you know, physical place for all that crud to get out of your brain. And then also it's really nice to see over the years you working through all of this stuff. I feel like 2022 didn't feel like I accomplished a lot, but then when I look back, mood tracker, books, uploads, I'm like, wow, no, I did so much. And it wasn't like a bad year. It was just a year with many highs and many lows. So I feel like it grounds you a little bit. But yeah, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it to the end of this video, leave down below this emoji so I know you are the real MVP. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. Peace. Bye bye. Adios. I need to go work out apparently.